Alrighty, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back once again to my little experiment in game dev. So, music once again being provided by StreamBeats.com. This is the lo-fi playlist. So, thanks to StreamBeats for existing. Big appreciation for that website. Alright. So, the goal for today is to do settings. That's really the main thing that I need to fix, right? Because I have to get settings to do a couple things. First, resolution window size. So you can change the game from popping up at a window or full screen borderless, change the resolution of the whole thing. Whatever. Sound effects on and off. Just a toggle should be easy enough to do, but I've got to figure out how to do it. Also a setting to change the scores per round, and finally, the big one, control options. Because you got to be able to change your control options so you're not using W and S and up and down. You can possibly even put in controller support. That's going to be something I'm going to put in here as well. Just going to put up to 4 controllers in there. All right. So, this is going to be tricky to do. This is going to be the start of the stuff where I don't, have a general idea of what I want to do in order to get it to work properly. Because up until this point, setting up the room, setting up the game, setting up, individual buttons that when you click on them, you go to a different room, that's easy enough. But this is menuing stuff, and I'm really not 100% sure how to actually work with that. I've also got to fix that at some point. Yes, BlockBall. What? That hot new game? Also, hi, man. How are you doing? All right, so credits. Created by me, streamed live on Twitch. Download from the itch.io page. Thanks for clicking here. I'm doing alright. Just, I'm about to start working on settings menus in this thing. So that's gonna be a pain, to say the least. Okay, so what do we do first? Right. First thing I want to do is I want to open up this and really quickly look at how ini file GameMaker. I'm going to look at how the ini file functions work. All GameMaker Studio 2 projects have a file called options.ini, so you cannot name any file with that name. You get a UID failure when you try and compile it. Yeah, how are you? How's your day going? Doing alright? I mean, you'd say alright, but just in general. Functions exist for .ini file. So ini open, close, write real, write string, read, key, section, delete. So how do I create an ini file for this game? Well, we could probably start by closing a couple of these windows that I don't need. The test object, I don't need anymore. The menu selector, I don't need. Menu objects. Down here, we've got, what was this? This is the credits. That's the credits note, so that's just what I was putting in there. Okay, just a lot of work on the old curse crackers. And by the old, I mean the new Curse Crackers, which is a very cool-looking game that I'm very excited to try out. once it's available in demo and or regular form. By the way, go play hot indie game Prodigal if you have not played the game before, for anyone viewing this. It is an excellent game. I'm number 4 on the leaderboard, still, probably, I think. Yeah, I'm probably number 4 still. I haven't checked. And number 4 on the leaderboard, by that I mean the speedrun leaderboard. So what am I doing? Alright, so let's open up the settings room. Ah, excellent. I've just got to get my time down from about an hour. Alright, so we are gonna make... Okay, so first thing I guess we're gonna do is make a new UI object. Create a new object. Object. UI settings. And I'm just going to implement this right into here. Make a new one here. Nope, not, don't want tile. Should not be in this layer. It should be in this layer. Alright, so what do I want to do with this? Besides not have the background be this just pitch black color. So let me just change that to literally anything else. There we go. That'll work. So there's that. I guess the easiest way probably would just be, just for now, create 2 objects in here. Or, yeah. I'm gonna do 2 things. First, I'm gonna create, let's see, object menu. Should I want to use object menu? Font, set color, set text alignment. I don't even need that stuff, do I? Yeah, alright, that's fine. Alright, so let's put this in the instances. So I'm just going to create... Let's put 3 here. And then... This will be... So this is going to be the save button. That'll be the save. This will be on, off, and... let's do that. Put this menu selector in here too. So that'll just move in between these things. Okay, that works for now. Alright, how did I do the thing for the menu again? When I did draw GUI... Right. I set these things up as individual instances and then had them have the transform values. So let's go to UI settings. Let's grab that too. There we go. So let me just copy this draw GUI. Okay, now we're gonna change these settings names. Okay, so this is gonna be, let's call this inst settings save. So that's just gonna be the one where whatever I do, that'll eventually save everything to the .ini file, which is the, you know, whatever. Okay, so object menu. Let's change this one to inst settings. Which one am I going to be doing for this? Let's do sound effects on and off. Okay, so that's sound effects off. Sound effects on. There you go. Alright, so now we're going to steal more stuff from here. So... what the hell do I have networking on a step? Why did I get that in there? Part of that. So on creation... Right, I did create this to be basically... I did basically set this up to be specifically for the main menu, didn't I? Yeah, so let me create a new one here. Let's rename this to... Actually, no, this is fine. Because I can just create a... I can just duplicate this. And create this, object settings. Actually, probably be selector settings. There you go, like that. Just flip it around so that it's not... There you go. Alright, so now we've got object selector settings. So when we create this now, I'm just going to... Let's, So let's set it to setting, and this will be sound effects, and that'll be instance setting sound effects, then setting save, inst settings save, there we go. And then these two can go away for the time being. So setting, sound effects will be 0. Save will be 1. And then these two can go away. There we are. So those are set. Setting is set. Setting is saved. Is good. Menu selected. Value inst. Menu. So assign the variable I, value 0, assign variable enter, 0, okay. So going back here, if mouse previous Y is equal to the current mouse Y, then assign setting selected to instance nearest with current mouse X, mouse Y of type object menu. And if mouse previous other one, and then if I assign mouse previous Y to mouse Y. If you press down, assign variable I to I plus 1. And then if I is equal to 3, assign variable to 0 because I want to go, no, it'd be 2 actually, because it'd be 0, 1, and then back around to 0. Then it'd be setting selected, and this would be setting I. There you go. Alright, so if key press up, I will blah. If it's -1, then assign a variable of 1. Setting selected. Setting. Okay, jump to point, mouse selected X, mouse selected Y, or setting X, setting selected Y. If the mouse is clicked, assign variable enter is 1, and if VK enter is pressed, enter is assigned to 1. If enter is 1, revert enter to 0, and then if it's okay, so if instance selecting sound effects is selected, then I'd actually want to, what would I do there? I'd create a new menu selector object. Which would basically let you move between 2 left and right things. So let me just remove this one for the time being. Audio selector complete. Alright, so I want to just go with settings. So it is equal to inst setting save. So do this. Do this. There we go. This one is going to be this one is going to move to room. Room. Go to specific room, and this will go to menu main. There we go. But it's also going to do that after setting, or it's I and I. It'd also be doing that after writing to I and I. The problem is I still don't know 100% how to work with INI files, so I'll just leave it there for the moment. Now, so if the setting selected is the sound effects, it needs to actually, no. Instead of that, make it go to... It would actually be going to room previous. There you go. Because this is normally going to be the main menu, but if I implement it to go back to the game, which I eventually want to do if I can pause in the middle of a game, then I have to do this. So that way it'll go back there. Okay, so that takes care of that for now. how do I do this? Alright, so if it's selected, I want it to... Can I, like, hide? Maybe, like, I don't know. First off, let's, instance... Create an instance, and we're gonna create a... Now, what I'd want to do, just to make it, like, easiest, would be create the object, a new selector, created on, like, the closest instance horizontally. But I want it to be on the one that's currently active. I'm not 100% sure how I do this properly. What I probably honestly do is, instead of doing like a thing where you move the button across the screen, I'd probably do, maybe not a drop-down window, but like a scroll kind of thing, where you push the button and it'll just scroll the text across into a new setting. Or I guess for the max score thing, that'd probably be just text entry. It's basically how like resolution works in most games, where if you're choosing a resolution, sometimes it'll do like a drop-down window, but a lot of the times it'll just have like a little, you just push left and right and it'll just like scroll through the things. I don't even know how you do a drop-down window in this. That doesn't seem it's probably feasible, but I don't know how you do it. So if variable, you know what, actually, let's just do this. Actually, let me go to the UI object for settings real quick. So I just had a thought here. If I create a step object, a step event. So at every step, actually, now let's create a thing here. So let's also create a global variable. And what do I want to make this variable? Basically, I want to create a global variable that records if you are currently It records if you're currently selecting a setting, right? So let's say... Okay, so here's the idea behind this, right? You enter the settings menu. This variable is created. It's going to start at a value of 0. When you enter a setting, it'll switch over to 1. Then, when you select the setting, it'll switch back to 0. Or if you press escape, it'll switch back to 0 to signify that you've sort of backed out of that menu thing. Now, when it's set to 1, what it'll do is it'll effectively freeze the original selector, the one that's moving up and down over here to go between different settings. It'll freeze that one in place. So it'll effectively stop any inputs from going in. It's very easy to do. I could just go to setting selector right now. I would just go over here, and if global variable is equal to 1, then none of this happens. So actually, it's even easier to just go if variable, there you go, is equal to 1, then nothing. Do nothing. Literally just goes nowhere. Actually, no, this is not going to work, is it? Because I need to... like... this entire thing that's going there. It's equal to 0. There we go. So, if whatever variable is equal to 0, then it works. If it doesn't, if it is not equal to 0, if it's equal to 1, then it does not get to go through. Because if I did it that way, the way I had it before, it would trigger regardless. It would just only trigger this thing if it was equal to 1. Okay. So, going back to UI settings. What do I call this variable? Maybe call it selection active. There you go. So, there you go. Selection active set to 0. That just is created with the UI. So, on each step, if selection active is equal to escape. Escape. Wait, no. Key. There we go. If key pressed. Alright, so if the key is pressed, and this is going to be others. If escape is pressed, and the global selection is equal to 1, then assign variable global dot selection active to 0. Alright, so I'd actually... okay, this is fine. So if variable, put it there. If global.selection active is equal to 0, then you return to previous room. Go to previous room. If it is equal to 1, set it to 0. And that setting to 0 will carry over to whatever else, right? Alright, so before we go into this as well, because I forgot to change this. So this will be inst dot settings soundeffects dot x plus 200. is inst save okay. And this will be save and exit. And this will be sound effects. Alright, so that should be good. So now let's get to the main. Let's get to the settings. Did I? Oh, I forgot to disable that. Right. Selector menu. Forgot about that bit. Action number 1 of step event 0 for object selector menu. Okay, object selector menu is the problem. Object selector menu? Oh, God, of course, right. Because I used the wrong object for this one. Duh. Of course, I forgot to change it. There we go. Variable object selector settings variable not set before reading it. What variable has not been set? So object selector settings variable not set before reading it. Okay, what variable is that? Oh, duh. Right. Completely forgot about that one. It's not being drawn before it. Okay, so instance creation order. That's weird. This should be getting drawn first, right? Unless it draws from the bottom up. No, it's not drawing from the bottom up. Okay, so what does that say again? Okay, so it says object selector settings variable not set before reading it at object settings step 0 if variable equals 0. Oh, God, okay. Let's see. Oh, I never assigned... Did I never create the eye? Okay, so it's that variable. I'm actually not sure why I had that one down there. There we go. Look at that. Why did it go... What? Why did it go here? Oh, wait. What? What? Why did it go to that room? Hold on, let me see something here. If I go to credits, then go to settings, why is it doing that? That doesn't make sense. Why is it doing that? Shouldn't previous room be... Go to the room that was previously active. So why is the game room active? What? Let's see. GameMaker C2 previous room. Read the index of the room before the room, input into the function. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. So it's not the previous room that you were in, it's the previous room in the resource tree. Because if you go to rooms... where's the... How do I... I bet if I go to rooms, the game room is directly over the other one. Okay... Okay, so let me get room. Start room, rooms first, rooms last, get current room. Get currently active room. Okay, so what I can do then in that case is go to this one. Menu, selected settings. I can grab this thing. Get current room, target, prev room, settings, prev room. There we go. Go to room, room settings. And then when I go to this, settings, go to room. There you go, settings, prev room. And I guess this actually make that as a global variable. Get current room into settings. See if that works. Alright, I need to go settings, then down to... Oops. Yay, there we go. Perfect. All right. All right. So if global selection active is 0, then that thing is active. If it's not 0, then it goes away. Okay? Now, if you go to UI menu here, or not UI settings. At every step, if key press escape, the global selection active is 0. Go to previous room, which is actually not right. Go to room here, which is global.settings previous room. There we go. So now if I press escape, this should also do it. Ta-da! Problem solved. Haha! I'm so good at this. I've barely done any... I've spent 40 minutes, I basically just built the settings menu room. It's not even done yet, I'll point out. It's very much not done. Okay. Is that the right alignment? Far center should be right. Bottom. No. Why is this here? Seriously, why is that there? Like, it should be tied to that thing. Why is this? That was weird. That was strange. Alright, it should be tied to this thing. Instant setting saves. I wonder, is it because this is a... I wonder if this is because it's a not a 1920 by 1080 room. Yeah, there you go. That's why. That's literally why. It was, for some reason, not set up correct. Okay, so why am I doing? What is this? Why is it doing that? All right. You know what? Let's do left aligned. V align. There we go. So now, if I'm just gonna get rid of this plus 200. So I bet if I do this, should be aligned correctly now. No. Why is it doing that? Maybe it has to be right aligned? Doesn't make sense. No, definitely not. Dot path index? What the fuck? Eh, whatever. It works, it works. Hey, look at that. Hey. So, look on sound effects, it does nothing right now. What it should do is set selection active to 1. And then create a new thing right here, which allows me to move between these two. So if this is this, then variable, assign variable, global.selection active value of 1. And I guess create a second selector to the right of that. Okay, let me go to God, what has the? I think wall has a sound effect. No, I think it's actually ball. I got nothing in wall. Okay, so let's go to ball here real quick. Yeah, there it is. All right, so if there we go. If SFX so if SFX on or off, let's do actually off. Default I want them on. So this is not equal to 1. It is equal to 0. Blip, blip. There you go. Object wall. If SFX on. Or it's SFX off. Excuse me. There you go. Blip, blip. There you go. I guess it would be a global variable, right? Okay. So what I guess I would have to do then is, when the game loads up from the main menu, it will, whenever it loads up into the main menu or whenever it leaves the settings menu, it'll have to pull the data from the INI file, which has the settings built into it. So I have to go to like the UI menu. On creation, open an INI file for reading and writing. So file name, file INI, read INI, section, key, default, target variable. So I want SFX off for the variable. So let me go to the thing here. So okay, so save score INI open save data.ini Already specified the file name. As the game probably doesn't have this file already, we'll create it and open it. What is in the settings INI then? Oh, options INI. What is options to INI? That must be for GameMaker itself. So let's make settings to INI. And I need to figure out how to actually... So, INI open. Name. File name for the INI file. Yeah, okay. So, read. Read INI file. INI read... I guess I can choose between string or a number. So, let's try reading string. INI read string. You can use this function to read a string text from an INI data file. INI files are split into sections, and then each section is subsequently split into key value pairs. So a typical INI file will look something like this, and it's got a picture of, like, basically a text doc. It would have, like, prefs, player, achievements, and then numbers tied to each thing. Okay, INI read string, section, key, default. Alright, the section of the INI to read from. The key within the relevant section of the INI to read from, which would just, it's just a numerical key. Or actually it can be any kind of key. Default string to return if a string is not found in the defined place or the INI file does not exist. Must be a string. And save data set global name to the string under save one name and close the file. Again, there should be no string under save. Okay. Okay, how about read real? Okay, so how do I... Where is the INI file? Stores in app data. Alright, so let's create settings to INI, read the INI file, type string, actually make it a number, section. You know what, let's just do this first. I'm just gonna... There you go, it's created the INI file, ideally. So I'm going to check my app data folder. I'm not sure where in the app data it's going to be, but that'd be nice. Okay, computer is taking a minute to open for some reason. Okay. Does it say here? Documents too. Let me check out documents first. Let's see, GameMaker Studio 2, BlockBall, BlockBall YYP data files. No, okay, that's not it. Okay, roaming maybe. GameMaker Studio 2. Okay, this is not helpful. Okay, where are the INI files? Out data. Okay, so I'm in app data, BlockBall. Where is this? Ah, it's under local. Okay, so local Bedlam Ball outside. Okay, local app data game name. Why don't we just go to weird because I'm not seeing BlockBall on here. It's definitely called BlockBall. Like, I see Bloodborne PSX, Bedlam Ball, some haptic stuff, Biota, Blazing Sails, BPM, Buck Up and Dry, Bullet Garden. No BlockBall, though. I go to... There's the BlockBall VMs. There are options.ini. Yeah, options.ini appears to be a GameMaker Studio specific thing. Okay, that's not helping. Right. Okay, so I'm going to look up YouTube tutorials for this. I'm just the YouTube channel I'm looking at for this is Technomancy Studios. So I'm not going to put the sound on. I'm just going to skip through it briefly to see if I can figure out how to do this from here. Okay, so this is GameMaker language. Okay, whatever. Nope, this is a platformer tutorial. Different video. Okay. Yeah. I understand this part. Like, I get the part, but the actual part I'm having trouble with is the part where I actually create an INI file and, like, initialize it. Maybe. Okay, let me try something here. Let me try something here real quick. Let's do settings. Key, sound effects, and value off. It's gonna be a number actually. Sound effects off, that's going to be value of 1. Or no, value 0. I don't know why it's like constantly selecting everything there. Okay, so now that's technically initialized, right? I should be able to read this. Okay, so this will be number, get section, settings, key, off, default, variable, and then draw GUI, and I'm just gonna have this one be let's make it a global off. There we go. Theoretically, this should pop a 0 on the end of this now. Expecting a number. Did I not pull it out as a number? I did. Is it a string? Okay, I see. So it didn't work. Also, why is it doing this? Why is it doing this? I do not understand. Okay. This is just like a test thing where they're just creating an INI file and then opening it. But how do I like create one that persists? This is kind of a sticking point, since I need to somehow get this INI file set up so that I can get the settings in the game written to it so that they persist. It's easy enough for me to just, load up the game right now and it'll just pop on this file and go, okay, yeah, set the global variable for sound effects to 0, so now you don't hear sound effects. And that's that. But then it'll reset when you start the game up again, which means you need to go back into settings to do it again. Same thing would happen if I somehow, like, generated an INI file at the start of every single attempt. Because it would still do the same thing. It would effectively be a longer way to do the exact same thing. The setting would start off by default with the default settings, and then I need to somehow... There's gotta be a way to do this, right? So let's just do a quick thing here while I'm basically unable to do anything else. So let's do the settings.ini file right there. It's not really the ini file, but this is what I want it to look like. So I want the settings section up here. Sound effects off. Equal to 0. That's default. What else did I have on the settings list? Settings. Max score per round. Score max equals 10. Score min equal to -5. And I'm gonna figure out how to do resolution / window size. How would I do that? Set the windows to be like a variable? Alright, so anyway, let's go with window. 0, 1, or 2, where 0 is equal to full screen, 1 is equal to windowed, 2 is equal to borderless full screen. And be easy enough to just have it cycle through these 3 options. Sound effects, window, what else? So resolution. I'd have to figure out how to do this too. I really don't know how to deal with that. Oh, hey, Sven. And yes, I'm super excited for that. Like, Wednesday is gonna be just like, oh, whoops. I had a previous run going, but no, we're switching back over. I would play it on Tuesday, but I also am playing Sifu on Tuesday, and I'm just as excited to play that because I'm so excited. There's so many good games coming out this month. Like, there's Sifu came out last week. The DLC for Wrath is coming out on Tuesday as well, and then week from now is Elden Ring. And apparently Friday, the day after Elden Ring comes out, is Babylon's Fall. So I gotta try that one out too, because I need to know if it's good or bad. I really need to know, because that is there's a very good studio that makes that, Platinum Games, and it does not look like a good game. And I'm very afraid. So I need to see for myself, I need to get hands on. And I figure I might as well stream it. I think they said no. What it might be is if you have a character who has beaten the game, you can import that character, or you can probably choose to, like, just create a new one, I figure. Which seems a little lackluster, honestly, given that it's probably going to be a 5-hour little experience or something? Yeah, maybe. Except Varnhold wasn't a direct carryover from a previous thing. It was like its own thing, right? I figure I don't know. Making a brand new character for that section seems very strange. I don't know how it'll work. Well, we'll see. I got good trust in them. I think they can do right. I am very curious how it's going to work, though. But yeah, also, I hope you're doing well today, Sven. Hope you're having a good day. Yeah, well, mine wasn't, but we'll see. We'll see. I really am very excited to get into that, though. Okay. Okay, so resolution can go from, I don't know. Dawn of Ragnarok DLC for Valhalla? Oh, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh. Yeah, I honestly haven't touched any of the Assassin's Creed games since, Assassin's Creed 2, whatever the third one was. Just because, like, that, at that point, it was, like, starting to get really stale to me, and I just dropped off of it. I haven't even touched 3. I heard that one's, like, decent, but also just, like, I just don't care anymore. Like, the only 2 I've heard are any good are like, people like Odyssey and Origins and Valhalla, but, like, I haven't... Like, the only one that seemed mildly interesting was Black Flag, but just, like, I just don't care enough to try it. It's a big game, it takes a lot of my time, there's so many other things I could be playing, and just, like, Assassin's Creed I'm just completely burned out on. 1 and 2 were pretty good, and then they just kept making 2. Over and over. And over. And over. How do you do this, guys? That? That's text anyway, it doesn't matter. No, I wouldn't bother with this thing. Okay, so resolution can be done later date. Maybe do like scale and then resolution size. So this would be something like 16 by 9 or 1:1 or whatever. And then this is actually like the 1920 by 1080 or whatever it is. Ah, okay. Yeah, I also got to get more into Legends Arceus. I haven't gone anywhere past Cleavor. Like, I played what I did on stream and then basically dropped it because too many other things are coming out, and Pokemon's a long burn game for me. So I just need to get back into that at some point. It looks really good. Apparently it gets better as the game goes on. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Okay, there's gotta be a way to do this, right? Ooh, whoa, hey, what's going on there? Now see, the problem with what I'm doing here also is that this is like really fiddly background stuff. Where it's important, this is vitally important, but it's also incredibly tricky to get working right and not very exciting. Because I don't load up the thing and go, oh yeah, woo, it's start game. Woo, look at that, I got a score now. Woo! It's nothing fancy like that. It's why are the sound effects off? I might have set that backwards. Go to ball. Gonna be an intense gaming session. Oh god, that's right. Total Warhammer is coming. I think the DLC is probably not more than like 5 or 6 hours, right? I don't know where I saw that. I might be thinking of the DLC, which is like the weird one in Canabris where you're trying to like survive in the city. That's the one I might be thinking of. I doubt it's going to be particularly long, like 10 hours tops. 6 to 8? Okay, yeah, there you go. That's 1 or 2 days. Okay, now what do I do with this? If global sound effects off is equal to 0, then the blips and the bloops should be playing. And it is set to 0 because I never set it to 1. So why is it... Oh yeah, of course. If you're playing it on hard or unfair, then sure. Huh. Oh, I know why I wasn't doing it. There you go. So click there, escape, escape. There we go. Alright, so while I have that selected, nothing works. Press escape. Button works again. Perfect. No new races yet. I actually wasn't aware they were adding more new races. Yeah, I gotta figure out why that's not working. So while I'm here, get rid of this. enable global sound effects off is equal to 0, it plays, which it is equal to 0. I wonder. Oh, okay. That explains it. Oh, that's why. That's why. Okay, wait, so there are no new romances, but there are new scenes in the game? Okay. Well... I'll see those for some of the paths I'm playing through, I guess. Also, I think I figured it out, because what happened here is, I see, because Galfrey had a very late-stage romance. I gotcha. Reminds me, I gotta work with her on my next scene. My next playthrough. Okay. I understand now. I understand this now, though. Also, I just realized I'm not going to be able to romance Land properly because I didn't do it on my one playthrough I had him on. I'll have to deal with that later. Okay, so looking at this... Probably going to be a big part of the DLC. I could see it, because she is, like, a very important figure politically, even if you did effectively take care of the entire country instead of her. You literally made it the new capital. Okay. Okay, but I think I realized why now the sound effects weren't working. It's because this actually did write the default string to here. Not doubtful. Gods don't have... Wizards of the Coast realized why gods should not have stat blocks when they published that one manual that actually had stats for, like, Zeus and stuff. Which one was it? Was it a... Where was... Was it? It wasn't deities and demigods, was it? Wait, no. Is it? Okay, so divine ranks were 3.5, but that was from Epic Level Handbook. But I remember very particularly that you could, like, there was a book that had stat blocks for deities themselves, which was terrible because then you realize, oh, I can kill God, which makes all kinds of problems in terms of, like, in-game lore and for player and for, like, DMs. Because then every party that walks in, there's always one guy who's got, I'm gonna kill so-and-so. That's my end goal. And you go, it's not like Cthulhu, who's just like a priest of the elder gods or whatever, or, you know, it's just like, you're not supposed to be able to fight these things. They're supposed to be there for... They're there so that the DM has an out when something goes really wrong. You're not supposed to be able to no-sell God. Oop. What is this? No idea. Oh, is it? Excellent. I haven't, like I said, I haven't kept my eye on Baldur's Gate 3 at all. I might, after I finish Pathfinder, I'll probably go back to Baldur's Gate 3. Emphasis on finish. That, I'm going to be playing Pathfinder for like the next year, I feel like. That's not necessarily a good thing. It's a very long game, and I'm trying to go through it as quickly as I can, but my god, there's a lot of empty space at times. Particularly Act 3. Well, no, technically speaking, Pathfinder 1st Edition is a finished game now. Pathfinder 2nd Edition is now officially supported. Pathfinder 1st Edition is no longer officially supported. It is a finished game. Therefore, you can complete it. That said, I can't complete it. Because like last night in the shower, I came up with like 3 character builds for Pathfinder 1st Edition. So, never gonna stop, but I can basically complete the game. Yeah, I was taking a shower and just like, I wonder if I could, can I make a character who's just really good at tripping people into pits? Oh yeah, I could totally do that. Like if you make a Trapper Ranger focus on tripping, you can also stack in some Bull Rush. I think Crashing Wave Strike, or Crashing Wave Style, throw it in there. Toss them into pits. They get bonuses based on it, but they only get bonuses based on hazards if I think they know they're there. So if you use a Trapper Ranger, set up a magical trap to teleport them into a pit trap, or just set up a pit trap, then you can punt them into it and drop them into the pit. That was really the basic idea. The free stuff, yeah, like the dragon and such, I did see a little bit of that. I hadn't, like, mucked around with it much. By which I mean I haven't done it at all. I'm completely stuck on this. There's a new boss? Where's the boss? Also, I'm getting sidetracked here, but also I'm just completely stuck on this because I can't do this. I'm just going to disable that for the time being. That way it's not going to overwrite the global sound effects thing. Oh. Right, because now that's no longer... It's no longer initialized, is it? Sin Guzzler, that's a name. I'm gonna have to... I'll have to find that one later, but I have no idea where that thing is. That sounds like a late game thing, though, so I haven't hit it yet. Okay, so I gotta enable this. The problem is, it's not reading... Okay, let me just create another INI file here. So section is settings. Key is FX off. It's going to be 0. So now doing this, it should... Three incorrect type string expecting a number. And I read. That not a number? Do I have to... Maybe I have to do this? I don't understand. Is it doing that? Yeah, this part really actually confuses me. I do not get why this is happening. Like, I don't understand what GameMaker is actually doing with this INI file. Like, the best way to do it right now, just to fix it as a patch. It's just a patch little fix for this. Would be... Well, dot sound effects off, set that equal to 0, and then just disable these two. So now it works. That still doesn't fix the problem of... This still doesn't fix the problem of what's going on with that INI file. That part is just what's bothering me the most of this whole deal. Saving and loading with INI files. Sean Spalding. 2015. Is this GameMaker 1? Looks like it. Okay, so ooh, hey.
Sorts of things like.
Okay, so I'm listening to a video from one Sean Spalding on YouTube from 2015. Let's see what he says.
For those getting confused, this is what an ini file generally sort of looks like when it's got data in it. It has a bunch of sections kept in square brackets, and then different keys in those sections. And then each of those keys has a value. So here, this is like a slightly modified version of the ini file from another perspective. So here in options, for example, language is set to 0, which by default would be English in the game. Full screen is set up for the first saving game tutorial, which is just this little thing with a little green dude walking around going through the levels. But this time, instead of just going through the levels, and you see it says this here's level 1 and points equals 0, I've added a point system in, so these little pink squares you can pick up, and they give you points. And there's like a bunch of them on level 1, and I'm going to pick up 3, and then carry on through the level, and it says this is level 3, points is 3, we just have a global variable. Oh, I've got 2 scripts set up to do this. They're totally blank at the moment, SCR save game and SCR underscore load game. SCR underscore load game will happen when we select continue from the menu, and SCR save game will happen at the very beginning of every room our player object exists in. So at the beginning of each room, the player object will call a script and it will save the game. Won't at the moment because the script doesn't do anything. So that's what we're going to do first. Those of you who did watch the previous save game tutorial will recognize most of this code. It's all very similar. It's just, got a few minor alterations here, like, oh, player, there's already a save file, are you sure you want to overwrite, etc. Depends on what you're making, and so on and so forth. Now, you might be confused because we've just ensured that there is no such file, because if the file did exist, then we deleted it. So why are we trying to open save.sav? Well, all this really does is it opens this file for writing and reading, and if the file doesn't exist, GameMaker creates it. The file itself isn't actually saved and created until you finish with the file. Once you've added some stuff to it, and then you say ini close, then it will save the file if it didn't already exist in the first place.
Oh, really? Okay, so I have to close it first? Okay, so move this down here, open settings, write to file, enable, then close, and then open. Let's just disable this for the time being. Settings and fix okay. So let's try running this now. So this is probably supposed to be like that. No. Okay.
But for now, having done ini underscore open, this file is open now for reading and writing, and we can write data to it into memory, and then when we close the file, it will create the file if it didn't already exist. So, the first thing we want to do is just add the room that we're in, exactly. It's done basically in the same way we added the save room to our previous save game file. Save, so yeah, var save room.
Okay, so that's just saving room stuff right now.
And now instead of just
okay, now writing
the file we're writing to and identifying the value that we're going to write into it, like we were writing to a text file, we need to establish exactly where we're writing this information to the ini file, because you remember it has this slightly more complex structure.
Right.
It has all of this, so it has this. We need to know what section we're writing to, so I'll bring it up again. We need to know what section we're writing to, what key we're writing to, and what value we're actually going to be writing into that key.
Right.
So
Okay.
the first thing, and you can see down here, it comes up. It's the section. So the section we're going to be writing to, I'm just going to say like giving the idea that maybe we have multiple save slots. I'm going to say like save 1. Press F1 by mistake. Save 1.
Okay.
So you can have multiple sections.
So section 1 is save 1.
So forth in theory. Write real, which again is the key.
Save 1 points.
Close, open bracket.
Then close it. Okay.
Hit start. I'm going to move, and then move to level in folder for this, which is app data local.
Okay, so app data local saving 2. So having done that, it might actually work. Okay, let me try this. So I'm just gonna real quickly just let's disable this, disable that. Let's enable this. All right, now if we'll try this. Does it write properly? Good, it wrote. So let's go here. Go into app data, local, BlockBall, settings.ini. Okay, I'm gonna open this with Notepad++. Sure. Just doing a quick update for Notepad++ here. By the way, Notepad++, excellent program. Great to use whenever you're mucking around with any kind of file stuff. Okay, so this is change logs. These I don't use anymore. Aha, look at this though. Check it. I've got an INI file. Yeah. All right, so I can change this INI file now. Get rid of that. The value should be 0. So sound effects settings. Let's check. I'm gonna check some more settings here. So sound effects off. Let's do nope. Score max equals 10 point. I wonder if these zeros are important. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so score max, score min is -5, and there's actually no space here. Okay, score min. Okay, window. Let's make that 0 for now. Actually, no. Make 1 windowed. 0 windowed. Okay, so I'm gonna make 0 windowed, just for ease of headache. 1 is gonna be borderless full screen. Two will be full screen. There we go. And I'm just gonna leave it there for now. Anyway, the INI has now been acquired. Perfect. So, if we go back to UI menu, I think theoretically I shouldn't need to write this ever again. Because now that I've written it, destroy that, close that. Okay, I can also get rid of this one. Number, settings, default, enable. Let's see if this worked. No. Okay, let's set default to 2 then. Just in case. Maybe that's why. It was. Okay, I need to go back to... Okay, so global dot... off. Make sure this is working. Excellent. So if it was not rating the number correctly, that would be set to 0. But because it is reading the number correctly, it's set to 1. Or if it was not reading it correctly, we set to 2. But it is reading it correctly, which means it's set to 1. Perfect. Alright, so that value has now just been pulled out, which is excellent. And then while I'm doing anything else, I can also just pull out anything else of that nature. What I actually might do is... Let's go back to room here. Room menu main. Let's create... I'm going to create a new object. Create object. And we're just going to call this... Object setting. Inits. And all this is going to do is... On creation, it's basically going to do the exact same thing I was doing here, except I'm pulling it out of here. So it's going to open up the setting INI file, pull values out of it, just whenever, right? And that's all it's going to do. It is just going to exist there to pull these things out. So put this in UI, I guess. Put that there. Right, so settings.ini is now opened. We have first one here. The global sound effects turns on and off. Just make sure it works properly so it doesn't break something. Good. Alright. That's my first setting actually done. Now we have to do the fun part of actually getting it to work. Technically speaking, once this is all set, it's much easier. Just... We'll see how that goes. Okay, so anyway, let's... it reads this, and then it'll close the INI file, I think. No reason to keep the INI file open, since I've now pulled every value of information out of it in order to pull these values in. Right, so... Let's go to UI settings here. This is fine. Let's go to here, quick. Change this one to... All right, I did name these ones already. Okay, so sound effects. So the on. This is off. Go. So those two should now be set there. I mean, they're a little off, shall we say? Okay, so on creation, when opening this, so key pressed, escape. This one, we're also gonna close INI file right there. So if we're leaving without saving, escape, exit room. No save made to the INI file. Now, on the other hand, if we go to settings, if the settings save is selected, then we write to INI file number under the value 0 under off section settings. This value is global. SFX off. There we go. Write to INI file. Close INI file. Okay, so open INI file. Settings.ini. That is the correct one, right? Pretty sure that's the correct one. Let's see, object UI menu. So, effects drag. No, right. I'm just. What am I doing? It's setting inits. Settings.ini. Yeah. So it opens up settings.ini, writes the sound effect off value to it, and closes the ini file, and then goes back to the previous room. Good. Now, let's double check something here. Alright, so object selector menu. What I want to do is I want to not go on those two if possible. Okay, so if it selects the SFX settings, global selection active goes to 1. Which means that I want to create a probably new object selector, which only goes on yes or no. So let's do that. This is basically not going to be used anymore after this one, because I ideally will have a much more clean way to have these settings function as opposed to this, which is kind of messy. I'm going to be real. This might be something I like. Might like get up to the point where I can set it up and then find time over the week to try and do it, to actually like get things properly set up. So I might not upload the build today. I might upload the build like later in the week. Object selector setting individual. Okay, so on creation. Do I basically just keep all this information? Actually, no, you know what? I got a better idea. I've got an even better idea here. I will still have this thing here, but I've got a much better idea. Actually, you know what? I've got an even better idea. I don't even need to do this. What's that noise outside? It's just someone just trying to clean off some snow. By snow, I mean, ice. Alright. Let's make this even easier for myself, shall we? So currently this is displaying the stuff there, right? So, what about if I just change it? So, let's go to UI settings here. Drag GUI. These are not going to exist anymore. So, if global sfx off is equal to 0, then on make that plus 500, I guess. There we go. So I probably can disable the selector thing for the moment then. I mean, I'll still use the selector thing, but yeah, just disable this for the time being. So Alright, so let's go here, since I'm not really like changing it. So it's gonna be if goes here. So if global.sfx off is not equal to 1, actually is not equal to 0 actually, then assign it to 0. There we go. So, if you click on the sound effect thing, it'll increment. Okay, it's not equal to 1, actually. So, increment that up. It's equal to +1. Okay, so if it's 0, you press enter, it'll go up by 1. If it's 1, press enter, it'll go up to 2. Which will trigger this because it's not equal to 1, which sets equal to 0. And it'll only trigger when you've actually selected the setting. Yeah. So, if you pressed enter, then if you press enter on sound effect, it'll increment the sound effect variable up by 1, which means if it's 0, it'll go to 1. If it's 1, it'll go to 2. If after doing so, it is not equal to 1, which means it's 2 or higher, it'll instead go back to 0. I think that should work. So now, yeah. So then if you go to save and exit, it'll open up the setting INI, write the sound effect value to it, close it, go back to the previous room. So I'm actually going to go to UI menu here for a second. I'm just going to use this one and global.soundeffects off. I'm just going to double check that works. Alright, setting. Okay. Object UI setting not set before reading it. Settings draw. Object UI settings. Draw text transformed. Object UI settings. Okay, so that only happened, though, when I actually entered it, right? Yeah, that only happens when I actually press enter in it. Of draw event for object UI settings. I wonder if I have to add these to the step event. Maybe like that? No. Okay, so int settings sound effects off. Oh. Oh. Oh, whoops. I thought I fixed that. Oh, that must have been why. Alright, in that case, I imagine these probably can go back in the draw part of it. So sound effects are off. Exit game 1. Start game. No sound effects. Go back to settings. Sound effects on. Save and exit. Start game. Sound effects. Woo! That's exciting. Oh man, that feels good. Finally. Look at that. Lovely. Okay, so how do you create this INI file for the first time? Excuse me. Alright, so that's very good. It's very good. Next I'd want to make... Okay, let me actually go back to my to-do list here. So, sound effect control... Sound effects on off. And I need to get a button for default settings button. Min negative score. So default settings button would be a very good one, but I'd need to figure out a way to like set up. I think what it would do, because this is probably something I'd have to do with GameMaker language, because what I need to do basically is first detect if the file exists. Detect if settings exists. If it does, delete it, then set up. Then rerun original settings.ini setup. I think I understand now why there's like setting initialization stuff that happens in sometimes when people make games. Because they're effectively setting up all the base files that you need in order to actually run the thing. And then, once that's done, you start running from those files and you have to reset. Okay, I understand now. I understand how game works. I think I can safely say I've looked at the INI files. Well, figure out how to pull a text file into variables is right there. It's the INI. I wish there was an easier way to do it, but INI will do it for now, at least. Okay, so what else? Okay, let's add a couple more objects here. What do you say? That's here. So let's make this min score or max score, min score. What else? Max score, min score. That'll do for now. Alright, select your settings. Okay, so setting max score min score. Okay, so go back to the room. Inst settings max score. There we go. Min score. Okay, so 2 more macros. There we go. So step if wait, these should be swapped. I don't want save to be right after sound effects. That doesn't work. Doesn't mean I don't have to worry about this. I just need to adjust on the macro here. Okay, so variable is 2, set to 0. I want it to actually be 4 now. Setting selected. There we go. Blah, 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 blah. Editor. Setting sound effect. If it's sound effect, it does this. If it's save, it exits. If so, if setting selected equal to inst settings max score. If selected equal to inst settings min score. Okay, so how do I do the max score? Let's do 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, write to INI file. So let me just write. 2 more in here. Number. Global dot oh yeah, that's right. I did have global dot max score, global dot min score, didn't I? Because I set those up previously as part of the scorer object, I want to say. So that's what's this under? Hold on. I'll just open up the settings real quick. So score underscore max under settings. Okay, so now that that's done, let's get the setting inits. Read INI file. UI file, 2 of those. Settings. Okay, this is score max, score min. Default is going to be 10. Default here is going to be -5. This will be global dot max score. Global dot min score. There we go. All right. That's score underscore min, score underscore max. Yep, perfect. So it'll default to 10 and -5 in the case that something goes wrong. But for now, you get to do whatever. Which also means I need to go back to score real quick. Because I'm pretty sure that's where it was. Create now. Why do I have these two here? Those might be depreciated. I'll come through here and like deal with these later. Okay, no, but where's the hell is it? Is it under ball, maybe? Oh, no, wait, it might be under UI for that room. No, it's not. Is it under the ball? Is there a way to find where I put a variable? Controls. No. That's paddle speed. Oh, paddle speed. That's another one to put in there. Not really, but, you know, whatever. I really wish I could just find where I put a variable. No, it's up, down. Ah, variance. There it is. I knew I had one around here someplace. No, this is controls. There it is. What? Why is it? No, I'm trying to get to There we go. Varinits. Edit object. On creation, it creates... There we go. There we go. So, I can get rid of max score. Actually, no, you know what? Let me just disable these, just in case. There we go. Alright, I know I had a variant object someplace, I just didn't know where it was. I remember now also, I put that there because I wasn't initializing the variables early enough for whatever reason, so I had to set up a new object just for that purpose, which is honestly a good idea, I feel like, because I can just slap anything in there that I need to get rid of. Okay, so back to... Let me actually change this name real quick. So rename to Game Barnets, just so I know where it is, because that's in case I have to do more initialize. I need to set up more variables in different rooms. Honestly. Like, this wouldn't be out of place putting it in, like, the first menu, because I'm just setting up a bunch of global variables here. Yeah, let me slap that in the... here instead. So I'm gonna... There we go. Removing that from here, we're gonna put it into... main menu. Just make sure this works. Ah, this is not being drawn on top of that. That's a mistake. Oh, I forgot to set it for up. Whoops. Alright, something to do as well. Assign it to 0, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Alright, and now... Right, that's going to be in the room itself. But I think actually if I do it like this, yeah, it's going to go underneath, because that's first. So put it down there. Ta-da! Okay. Now, what were the other instances called again? This is max score, min score. Right. So let's go to UI settings. Okay, that's just drawing it. So step. If variable equals something, blah blah. Draw GUI. Okay, sound effect. Save and exit. Okay, give me 2 more of these. Okay, so this is going to be max score. And settings. Max. I can use some water. I'm almost got this. Okay, so max score, min score are now all set. Okay, and then can I add a second? No, it just reverts to the old step. Alright, so then let's draw some more transform variables. These are not going to have any text. They're just going to have global dot max score, and that's going to be 500 over. Global.min score. That'll be 500 over from that. Uh-oh. Did I just... Yeah, I did, but it's fine because I actually can just move this up here. There we go. So, max score, min score. Perfect. Transfer value sound effects, save and exit, max score, min score. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, now I need to do the actual selector things on this. So, if the setting selected is settings, sound effect. Alright. Excuse me, just... You know what? Let me get some water real quick. So I think part of the problem was this morning for breakfast I had a very bready breakfast because I ate like some fried food. So I think that might have been it. It wasn't like KFC fried either. It was like homemade fried food. So the bready is not like... It might have been too crispy. Also, I had a thought. Let me just go write this down real quick before I forget it. Mid-negative score might write things into a combo. You know, this will actually be much easier once I get the collision stuff fixed up. Because the problem is, the problem is, like, what if you don't want to have scoring on yourself? Well, the easy thing to do would just be set the minimum score equal to whatever your current score is. Which would only work on a per player basis, but I could also just... Basically, I'd have to disable that code, but disabling that code means I'd need to effectively create an entire separate tree for that code, which just deals with that, which I guess is actually not terrible. Like, if I go to, the scorer here, if, let's see, if the self-ID, blah, blah, like, score 1 else, if score P1 it's greater than min score, blah, set this thing, right? Like, I could just turn this off. I could just turn off this entire thing effectively so that you can't do that. Will that work? So, destroy instance if last score is equal to 1 and self-ID is not the first player's stuff, score increments up. To... No, because even then, this would prevent the score from going up if you score on yourself. If you tap it before it goes in, that would prevent the score from going up. So I'd still need to have a separate... I basically need to have a separate if right here, which will just copy this. No, because I need to actually change how L score works. Which means I need to actually change how last hit works. So I think it'll actually be easier to, it'll actually be easier once I fix the collision stuff. Because what I'm planning on doing with the collision stuff is having invisible objects tied to the top and bottom of the paddle, which will change how collision works in general. But I can also set it so that those ones count as the other person scoring if it hits on that point. So if, for example, let me just open Paint. So here's a paddle, right? This is the halfway point. Ball comes in, hits right on this side. The idea is to have the top collision object here work so that if it hits on this side, it bounces forward at an angle. So if you're able to hit it there, you're able to recover. But if it hits on this side, it'll just reflect backwards as normal, and that'll count. See, this is player 1. This will count as if player 2 had touched it last. So that's my idea. If I can do that, because the trick is that this entire thing, this like secondary collision object is actually going to be fairly tricky to set up, but I think it's doable. And that will also fix this problem if I can get it to implement properly. Okay, so let's go to to-do list. There we go. Right. So what was I just doing? Settings. There we go. So that's that. If the selected setting is max score. So anyway, I'm not going to muck around with min score too much. Basically, I want to have the following min score. 0, -5, -10, infinite. Yeah, 0, -5, -10, infinite. And for the max score, I can just cycle it between 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. Very simple. That's probably going to be an array then. So, just because array will make it easy. So let's do variable. Assign variable. Let's do... macro. And then, how do I get the settings derived from each of those? Right. Right. Now I remember. I probably just set it to -100, because I don't think anyone's going to be that bad at the game. Okay, so let's set this one to, max skur. It's gonna be 1. Set that to 1. Skur. $15, $20. One, two, three, four, 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that assigns the variables there. Probably a better idea to do it here, honestly. Yeah, let's put that there instead. So macro, sound effects, blah, blah, blah. Max score. I can assign... Because this one's going to be using I, which I don't want to reuse because it means that I'm going to have to compete with this. So let's do IJK. J, and actually, what am I doing? I just do J. There we go. Excuse me. Alright, so the default value for this... The default value for this one, J is going to be for max score. Default value for this is actually going to be... Actually, no, assign variable. This one is going to be global dot... global dot sound effects off. This one's going to be global dot... Because effectively that one is just going to be flipping in between those two, right? So that means I won't have to wait when I assign the variable, because that'll assign the variable initially to have the value of global sound effects off, which means that it'll go to whatever is the one that's currently active. All right. So now for these two. These two are going to be a little bit trickier because I need to somehow pull... I need to pull the value that's being used for the max score. I basically need to work this way backwards. I need to go max score goes to here, and then this goes to this. I want the default to be 10, of course, but that's just default when you first load in. Okay, how do I change this? Okay, so I'd want to get... I suppose what I could do is I could just, like, run a quick thing. So get global variable. Max score. Actually, hold on. What does this do? Set global. Oh, this is set, not get. Okay, so get global dot max score into max temp. Let's call that. What's the temp value anyway? Let me look this up real quick. Minister 2 temp variable. Like, how long does this last for? Declare and give an initial value to temp variable, which is a variable that only exists for the duration of the event or script it was declared in. Ah, I see. Would pulling a script be a good idea? I wonder. Hold on, let me see. Create script. Declare a new function. Interesting. How does this work? Let's look up this thing here, because I feel like this script would be useful. Function call real. This might be something I have to look into here. Alright, so actually, let's go back, because I just remembered another thing I could potentially use here. Object selector settings. So let's call a user-defined user event. Let's call a user event here. And what we're going to do is we are going to I'm going to call a user-defined event right here. Call event 0. Alright, so global sound effects is whatever. User event 0 is... we're going to get global variable. It's going to be variable... no, it's set. I keep doing the wrong one. Get global variable, and that's going to be global dot max score, and we're going to call it max temp, and well, min temp. This will be global min score. Okay, so given that, we are going to attempt to reverse engineer the values. There's got to be a way to do this, right? So max score 15. All right, let me also do this one real quick. So let's do a set variable. So we want 0, -5, -10, -100. so 0, -5, -10, and 100. There we go. Macro it up. Why is eBay calling? Hold on a second. I'm going to answer it just in case. Okay, never mind. Okay, so if it's 0, -5 is 1, 10 is 2, 100 is 3. There we go. So now that array will just cycle through those. Wait, no, these should be here. What am I doing? Why was I doing that here? There we go. Anyway, so those are now assigned up. Step. Okay, so we want to do... Okay, so this will be assigned variable. This will be max score. And it'll be max score plus 1. So if variable max score is greater than... is 5. If max score is 5, then set it to 0. Then assign variable max score to 0. There we go. And then same thing with min score, basically. This is right? It's Minsk. Wait, did I really set to Minsk? No, it's Minsker. Yeah, it's Minsker. Oh, wait, duh. Fuck. God damn. Oh, fuck. Wait, how did I do this? God. I... Okay, assign. There we go. So... town, I plus 1, setting selected because value setting I. Okay, so this one would be, so this is going to be J, it's going to be J plus 1. If J is greater than or equal to 5, then set J to 0. And then here you set global dot max score max score equal to max score J, like that. Okay, now for here, this will be, I think I said to, did I set to K? Yes, it was K. Okay, so K is equal to K plus 1. Okay, so k is equal to k plus 1. Then if k is equal to or greater than 4, I want to say. Pretty sure it's 4. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Okay, so 4, set k to 0. K min score. Min score. There we go. Okay, so theoretically that should work now. So, okay. All right, so that means, let's go through here again. When you select the max score, J increments by 1. If it's at 5, it'll increment down to 0. Global max score is equal to max score J. Okay. Blah, blah, min score is equal to min score J. Okay. So now... I need to go to the UI for settings as well now. Oh, I already set them up. I'm so smart. I am so smart. Let's try this out, see if it works. Yeah, look at that, baby! So now it should be P1, or not P1, last round winner. Yeah, last score P1. So now P1 will be the last round winner. Perfect. Alright, it works. Set that back to 10. 5. There we go. Okay, so now here's the problem. How do I do that thing I was talking about? So, let's go back to Selector. I want user event 0 to be called here. I really feel like a script is probably the better way to do this. But anyway, let's deal with this for now. So global min score, max temp, min temp, right? So... let's see, maybe while. One of those loops. No, I'll just brute force this. Okay, so if temp is equal to negative okay, so what are my max values again? My max values are 1, 5, 10, 15, 20. So, well, that's equal to that. I guess I would set... I would set J to Sine j to 0. J to 1. 2. 3. 4. So it does that. All right. Then so min temp, and we're going for 0, -5, -10, -100. Go. Compile error. That's a new one. Oh, whoops. All right, let's go to settings. So, sound effect on off. Yep, max score 10. Let's set it to 15. It's weird. It should be setting that to. It should be setting J and K to those values. Well, let's see what happens if I do it now. So I load the game up. Settings. Set to 1. Okay, so I set it to the lowest values right now. 0 and 1. Okay, so let's set to the second one, 5 and -5. That one's still not doing it. So they're both at 10 now. Okay, so the max score one is working properly, but the min score... Oh, God, I'm stupid. That's why. I never reassigned the variable. That's why. So now it should work. Yep, look at that. There we go. How about that? Hey, 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 hey! All right, so... Okay, I'm just gonna check something here. UI menu. Drag UI. Right. So open settings, default. Settings, score max, score min. Close INI file. So let's see what happens if I delete this INI file. Will it break? This one should be 0. Okay, so that gave me a new ini file, which has my values in it. Perfect. No sound effects. Good. Okay, so P1 will be the winner here. Excellent. I think we're good. That's it. All right, so set up another thing on the to-do list here. Scripts, I feel like, are probably going to be incredibly vital for me because I am very limited to an extent in what I can do based on, you know, the limitations of the drag and drop system in this. But scripts seem like they actually bypass that to a certain extent. It looks like it actually does allow me to, like, edit things directly using GameMaker language, which could be very powerful. Let me see here something real quick. Let's see something real new. Declare a new function. Let's try script test. And let's okay, hold on. What's the syntax for this again? Okay, so ini files. Let's see here. I want to go ini open. Ini open, and we're going to call this a test.ini. Ini close. It should be test ini, not text. How do I run this? How do I actually run a script? Like, do I put it in the main room? Do I run it? How do I don't. Maybe I have to call the script? Let's go to UI menu here, real quick. Let's try... execute a script resource. There we go. Get scripts. Script 1. Did I not save it right? Oh yeah, whatever, this is fine. Let's try it out. Don't think I did it right. Alright, well. That's something to look into later. Which thing did I just put it into? UI menu, right? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'll deal with that later on. Maybe that'll be next time. Alright. Well, I got settings! How about that? That's pretty sick. Ugh. Alright, so sound effects on and on. Max score per round. Am I currently... There we go. Yeah, that's what I thought. So max score per round is now set in. Min negative score is sort of set, but I have to rewrite things eventually. Okay, look into scripts, controller support, AI, change some things to arrays. Eventually we're going to get to collision. I'm not looking forward to it, but eventually we are going to get there. Okay, so here's what we'll do next time. Next time we're going to... Let's see, how do I do this? This is not terrible now. The control option for setting up like player 1, player 2 bindable controls is now easily doable, roughly. I just need to also... Let me see something here. Let's go to any given object. Key. Show virtual keyboard. Status is raised. Virtual keyboard height down. Key is down. Key. No, it's checking specific keys. How do you get just a key? Alright, so... I guess... Let's see. Next time, we'll deal with... I guess 2 things. First, I'm going to... I'm going to work on scripts, because that might help me do things. I can just, like, set up scripts to do a lot of the setup stuff. Like, I could just do a quick check of, does the INI file exist? If it does, run the script to set it up. Similarly, if you press the default button, just delete script, delete the INI file, create a new one. Nice and easy. Control options. Control options. I think what I'm going to try and do is the menu pop-up thing. If you press escape during a game, instead of just going back to the main menu, it'll pause the game, bring up the options for you to select between, and then when you press escape, it'll bring the game back in its current state. That's what I want to try and do. So that and control options. Setting up control bindings for player 1, player 2. Calculate. Yeah. So those are the 2 big ones. Pause and control. But hey, we got settings now, so that's something. I'm really proud of that, actually. Like, look, I can change it to negative 100 score if I want, or 0. That's pretty good, though. Went from having no settings to working settings. Hey. All right. I think this is also probably enough to send out a build for. Eventually, I'll have to also get around to, like, making it not look like trash. That's something to take care of at some point. Alright, so I'm going to leave that there in that case. Good work today for me, I think. It's good to, like, if I had not done this today, I would have totally forgotten everything I'd done with this game. So keeping it on a weekly schedule definitely is helping. it's not helping as much as if I was doing this every single day, but it is helping more than if I was just like doing it once a month. Because if I was doing it once a month, I would just not have remembered. I would go like, what the fuck was settings? What is wall? What is this object thing? What is this? I definitely needed to do this. All right. So that's where I'm going to leave that for today. Good work, me. I'll be back again with this next week. We'll do what I said before, controls and pausing. And tomorrow is Pathfinder. Gonna try and finish chapter 3, hopefully, so that I can go into Illusionera just before I take a break to go do what is it called again? It's called Inevitable Excess. I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be Pathfinder tomorrow. Anyway. Alright, thanks for stopping by, as always. Thanks for checking this out with me. It's very... Make your own game. You learn a lot about the problems that you come up with in programming and stuff just from doing it yourself. And I am not very well skilled at this. I just sort of know what I'm supposed to be doing in a general sense. And GameMaker is nice and easy for that, thankfully. With the drag and drop and whatnot. Even if it is a little clunky and missing some features. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your days. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, night, what have you. And see you next time. Alright, once again, music provided by StreamBeats. This is the Lo-Fi playlist.